All right, that question there, we're going to read it again because we did have to drop that sound because of the minor name that was included. We can only say the first name of the boyfriend in this case, but the question from this jury is, does that protection order, the order of protection, temporary protection order that was in place against mom, we know that from the testimony in this trial, does a violation apply to the boyfriend, his person, or to something broader, the person or places or property, perhaps the building is what they are asking about.
Because this bus stop was near the school.
Right. Which was on school property, it seemed, because we had the officer in the body camera footage when he's basically interviewing mom. He said, you know you're not supposed to be here in violation of the temporary protection order. We told you about that, so that would seem to be more property, but the jurors want to know if it had to do with just the boyfriend. Let's bring in our guest who's standing by this hour to help us analyze this in Los Angeles, California. We have trial attorney Miguel Custodio. Miguel, good to see you. Tell us about what you think about this question. I mean, this is count 5 for mom. If jurors are going through one by one, are we getting close to the end here?
It seems like we are getting close because, well, first off, it's good that they're being very thorough with all the charges. And sometimes we don't see that in all of the cases. And so it seems like they're going down to the lesser of the charges. It's very surprising that they're still deliberating, to be honest. And I think they feel that just based on how it's the evidence that's come across this trial, it feels like the jury feels like the mom should be held accountable for something. Probably not the more serious charges, but I think that they really want to do something against her with regards to these lesser charges, and that's maybe where this question is coming from.
Yeah. If indeed they'd already found her guilty of something higher, this seems like a lot of jurors, which you sort of referenced to, would just sort of check that one too. Throw it on top, it's the least, and it's she's guilty of that as well. So if you're the defense, especially for mom here, and this is the question, 15 hours and counting of deliberation, how are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. If they're asking about a protective order, and we know it's one of the lesser charges, I think that her fate is going to be probably less than what her husband is going to have to deal with. I think the video shows clearly the husband choking the daughter. The mom, I think there's evidence from the daughter that it's hard for the jury to really find her guilty of one of these higher charges.
And just to let our viewers know what that penalty is for that count 5, the violation of a temporary anti-harassment order, it's a gross misdemeanor. So the penalty is up to a year or a fine of up to $5,000. So we are talking really about the lowest of the charges that are against any of these. And the dad doesn't have a violation of a protection order. That didn't apply to him. It was the mom who went on to school property and confronted the boyfriend at a prior time. What does that look like going forward, Miguel, in terms of these defendants? If we have dad guilty, mom not guilty, but they still have children together, there's perhaps if mom gets a violation of the lower, does that impact their ability to move forward as a family?
I think it does, because you're going to see dad in a jail, prison, mom with a misdemeanor, and you know, that's where it gets really messy, right? And the Child Protective Services intervene, and how does that look like? And unfortunately, when both parents are involved in a criminal trial and there are charges and the charges stick for both of them, it really becomes really hard because you're trying to keep the family together, but when you have things like this, you know, a lot of times I've seen where the children end up in the foster system, and that's just very, very tragic.
Yeah, absolutely. And this family's already been uprooted because mom and dad are incarcerated during this. Their bail was set very high. So they have, it'll be time served at the end of the day if that's all she's facing.
Right.
But we'll have to wait and see. The assistant principal, let's listen to that when the assistant principal basically says, yeah, she was in violation of the order.
Mrs. Ali entered the school building and front office.
And is this part of the area from which you had previously trespassed her?
Yes.
Did she have the permission of the school or the district to be in the building or on the property on that day?
No.
Yeah, there you have it. That seems cut and dry at the end of the day. Do you think at this point, a lot of times we see this, a question, an answer is followed by a verdict, and especially now when this question is talking about that bottom charge, you would think the last thing on the to-do list. Do you think that we might be close to a verdict here?
I think we're very close. I would say probably in the next hour to half hour, we're going to hear something on this.
Yeah, 3 days of deliberation, 15 hours. It is a lengthy deliberation, but I appreciate when juries take the time to be extremely thorough. I'm surprised that they didn't ask for any readbacks of testimony at this point, but it seems like they have everything they need. They just really need a lot of legal definitions, which sometimes we see from our juries.
Yeah, our team out there did say yesterday that at some point they took a 20-minute walk together around the courthouse. So maybe they're getting along, you know, maybe getting along, because if they're not getting along, they would be maybe walking separately, you know, how that goes, different camps. But could be good news, we'll see. Let's do this. Let's get a break here, and then when we come back, we'll monitor what happens out in Washington. Is a verdict coming soon? We'll find out, but as we wait, we'll head back to Montana for more testimony in the murdered male trial. Stay with us. All right, we'll need a break. First, Miguel Custodio, trial attorney out in Los Angeles, watching along with us. What's your take on this self-defense case from what we've heard so far?
Well, the defense counsel's line of questioning, I'm not really following her. The first question she asked was whether there was a difference in tone and pace from the first call, from the 911 call to compared with the call to the mom. And I don't think she really got anywhere with that. I mean, if anything, I don't know why you want to highlight the fact that when he spoke with his mom 4 days later, he said he was kind of scared of Campbell. And when you say kind of scared, does that really warrant shooting somebody 7 times and then saying it's self-defense? So I'm not really sure she moved the needle at all. If anything, I mean, I think they lost some points there. With regards to the other lines of questioning, I just don't think it's really moving the needle. I don't think she's doing anything to get closer to the goal line, so to speak. It's going to be really tough with this one. For me, what really stands out is the fact that this guy shot him 7 times. He shot him 7 times, and that's going to be really hard in a self-defense case like this. And so it's going to really come down to him going on, and testifying and trying to, sway the jury.
Miguel, some of our viewers who are watching along with us have asked on social media why he felt the need to be armed if he was just taking mail over to a neighbor's house. This is at 11 o'clock at night, and I don't know if he's going to be able to explain that. Perhaps he would have to show that this is his regular course of how he operates, that he would always at night have that in his jacket in the way that he did. He had a special pocket there that he put it in. Do you think that really needs explaining for this jury, or are they going to understand that, hey, he has a right to have his firearm, no duty to retreat in Montana? Will there be someone on the jury who says, no, he had a right to defend himself?
Yeah, well, if it's Los Angeles, I think it makes sense that you want to know why he had a gun. In Montana, I think the jurors are probably going to think that, a lot of people walk with guns at night, I think. And so I still think, though, that you want to hear it from him as to why he would walk around with a gun, especially in his own neighborhood. I don't think there's anything that shows that it was a dangerous neighborhood, but I think it's something we're all going to want to know why.
Yeah, and to your point, the defense attorney might be trying to tell his story through cross-examination, likely isn't landing. He's going to have to do it. He's going to have to step up, tell his version of events in a convincing manner. Otherwise, he is in trouble. Miguel, thank you, as always, for your valuable time. We're going to get a break. When we come back, we're watching Washington, but we'll head back to Montana as well. Stay with us.